Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is solar eclipse in Bible prophecy. Now, been a lot of people talking about this big solar eclipse that's coming up April the 8th and how it's putting all across America. So, as a matter of fact, here, let me just show you. This is just one of the articles I've got. Biblical expert, solar eclipse to mark beginning of judgment on America. So, I'm going to, Lord help me, I'm going to give you my opinion. Now, you might not like it, but I will say that a lot of people, I probably get more compliments on programs where I'm just talking from the heart. So I'm going to talk from the heart today. And I've been getting many prophecy articles about this. So thank you very much for sending them in. And they're all screaming prophecy. I'm going to give you my opinion today. My opinion is they're garbage. Ignore it. It has no track record. Now, why do I say that? I'm not trying to be offensive. You know, my heart is to try to bring you the truth. If God would tell me the truth, I would bring it to you. Slap, direct, I would tell you. He just doesn't tell me everything I want to know. And yes, I do keep asking. Why do I say this big solar eclipse is garbage? Ignore it. Because, okay, let me back up. I've been studying prophecy since about 1976. What got me started on it a little bit was the late great Planet Earth, and then I'm not going to go through the whole story. But I've had 160 guest speakers in, and yes, we've had Bob Wadsworth in. He made 3 DVDs. He is a biblical astronomer. He really knows what he's talking about. Look, go to watchprophecyclub.com. You will see me introduce every one of those speakers. I think maybe 1 or 2 I had to have my son introduce, but 160 guest speakers making 330 DVDs. We've made 70 crusades. And what is that? That's a 3-day meeting. I mean, I worked with prophets. I'm 70 years old, and for the last 40 years, well, 30 years. The last 30 years has been my full-time income. In other words, when you wake up and you go to your job every day, I wake up and I go to Bible prophecy every day. That is what I do. That is what I am. And I'm called to do this. And one of the things that Leslie and I both called to do is to bring you the truth. So as far as all of this solar eclipse stuff, I'm going to tell you it's garbage. Ignore it. Why do I say that? I think some things are going to happen in 2024. I don't think that the solar eclipse is telling us anything is going to happen. Wait a minute, Stan. What about where it says there should be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, and men's hearts failing them for fear for looking after those things coming upon the earth? What about that scripture? Well, what about it? Okay, so what it's talking about is the last week before Jesus returns. Now remember, again, I'm not trying to be arrogant here. I'm not trying to be offensive. Before I started, I said, Lord, don't let me be offensive, because this kind of grinds on me a little bit. Yes, thank you for sending the articles. Continue to send me your email articles. I memorized the book of Revelation in 2017. Now, I still have to go back and refresh, okay? In case you folks haven't seen it, look, okay, I'm telling you the truth. This is where I wrote out the book, the whole book of Revelation. It's all here. You can see it, okay? I wrote it out, memorized it, and I didn't think anything special was going to happen, but something special did start happening. I got 30 revelations, 2 visions, and an audible voice, which I wrote in this book, which you can get at prophecyclub.com. And in the back of it, it has these charts. If you've not got it, you should get it. Not because I wrote it, because frankly, I don't think I wrote it. Matter of fact, I've told some of my friends that I don't think I would touch a word of it. We will be printing many, many other versions, but I probably will not change anything other than maybe typos or something like that. Why? Because I think it has a special anointing on it. Now, I'm not going to say it's on the order of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I'm not going to do that. But I will say it's not my order either. I mean, it's on a level above me. Now, I say all of that to say this, not trying to pat myself on the back, not trying to lift myself up. I'm trying to say, guys, ladies, I'm trying to bring you the truth. Hopefully you picked that up. I'm trying to bring you the truth, and this whole eclipse stuff is garbage. Yes, there are going to be signs in the sun and the moon, the stars. There's going to be a time when Jesus returns, when the 7 vials are all poured out. There will be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars. But all of this stuff, oh, well, the planets are lined up. Look, they said that back in 1976, too. And it seems like about once a year, there's a big scare. Oh, the planets are aligned. Or Mars is in Venus, or some garbage like that. And it's just garbage. Nothing ever happens. Now, let me put it this way. If every time I came on, I was telling you something was going to happen, and continually nothing happened, time after time after time, how many times would it take of me missing what I was saying before you'd say, turn it off? Well, for some people, one time. Matter of fact, my wife even says, you keep saying these things, nothing ever happens. Well, that's true. I've been telling people the fall of America will start with an internal revolution since 1987. Hadn't happened. Okay, but it's still coming. Okay, so I'm trying to tell you the truth. And I will probably note, I might even go out with some kind of hole in the cardboard, but I'm not going to pay any attention to this eclipse. It's just garbage. It's just baloney. It's just rubbish. It's just foolishness. It's nothing. That's what I've been seeing this stuff. I see in the early days, I used to think, oh, well, something's going to happen. Nothing. I'm going to say probably the last 50 times I got articles from people saying, oh, well, there's this. Look, I understand. Say, how's it worded? With the moon on her feet, upon her head a crown of 12 stars, and she's being with child travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. All that. Okay, I understand. That is an that happens once a year. And it's been happening since before Jesus was born. But on that one particular year, it meant something. But Stan, what if this is happening this particular year? Well, it might be, but it's not credible enough for me to even give it attention. Since I'm trying to bring you the truth, I'm trying to bring you the truth. Just ignore it. That's not what you listen to. Okay, so if that's not what I listen to, then what should I listen to? I'm so glad you asked the question. This is what you should listen to. This is a list of what I think are God speaking. These are accurate prophecies. And these are accurate prophecies. Look, she got these prophecies 22 years ago. She got this prophecy in 2006, which was 2006, which would be, 18 years ago? Did I get my math right on that? No, I didn't. I don't know, what, 6 from 24? 18, I guess it is. Okay. So she got these headlines 18 years ago. That you can count on. This eclipse garbage, forget it. Okay, yeah, it makes an X over America. And yes, third judgment coming on America. But God did not send this eclipse to say that judgment's coming this year. He sent Dimitri Duduman in 1984 to say judgment's coming on America. He sent these other people. This is what you should be listening to, not this eclipse garbage. So, maybe you don't, maybe you don't want me to talk from my heart anymore. But I'm just, look, it's my heart. I don't want to see people lied to. I don't want to see people going to churches that are just pablum. I don't want to see them feeding candy to people. I want to see people on fire, born again, soul winning, tongue talking. I want to see them serving the Lord. And I don't want to see them caught up in a bunch of garbage. Okay. We prophecy students, let's just talk about it. We have a tendency to be chicken little. The sky is falling, the sky is falling. We tend to warn on every little thing. And then when we get on that, then after a while, the average person out there says, you've been saying that a long time and nothing ever happened. And we start hearing that, we've lost credibility, they won't listen to us anymore. So that's the reason I honestly try to bring you things that I really know are true and accurate. Okay, Stan, you made your point. So what do you think we should listen to? I'm going to say this page right here. I strongly encourage you to pause and write down every word on this page. So let me cover what I think is about to happen. I think that probably Vicky Goforth Parnell is hearing from God. And also backed up by Benjamin Fulford, there's two reasons why I think it's credible that China is about to attack Taiwan. And then Chris Reed also said that shortly after that, there will be an internal revolution. The underground church will get some on top of the ground miracles, and they're going to remove the communists in power in China. And that makes perfect sense with then God will raise up China, Japan, and many of the nations. And I just talked about that yesterday. I also believe that it's going to be a perfect storm. Now, what's a perfect storm? It means that there's 2 or 3 or 4 different things all happening at once. That's a perfect storm. The objective of the devil is to take away our peace. You've heard the old saying that if it's not broken, don't fix it. Okay, so he's got to break the old system that is based upon the foundation of the Bible. He's got to bring in a new system that will be one that will worship him. I think that we are about to see the dollar drop. Now, somebody emailed me, well, it didn't happen on January 1. Well, wait a minute. There's no prophecy saying when the dollar is going to drop by 30%. As a matter of fact, Leslie says God never sets dates. So if that's true, then don't count on anything to happen on the 24th of February, as Vicky Goforth Parnell and Benjamin Fulford both say. So, but we do think, for several different good reasons from several people, that Taiwan is about to be attacked. And Vicky, in another one of her dreams, said the reason is because the devil, Lucifer, and his fallen angels wants to have the advanced, updated chip, she says, that will be inserted into our bodies, or not our bodies, but inserted into the mark of the beast people bodies, is going to be made in Taiwan. Now, think about that. Where are most of the computer chips of the world made? That makes sense, doesn't it? Well, can't Lucifer make his own chips? I don't know, but it sounds reasonable to me. It is reasonable. We have Maurice Sklar, Dana Coverstone, Terry Bennett, Vicky Parnell, and there's probably others that all say the dollar is going to lose 30%. And it's going to be worthless as leaves blowing in the wind. So the first thing is China attacking Taiwan. Rest of the perfect storm is we're probably looking at the dollar being devalued. We want our entitlement checks and all of that sort of stuff. In the middle of that, then we also see a civil war because Texas is not going to put up with Biden telling them what to do anymore. And they're about to tell Biden to take a hike. And Texas is big enough and strong enough, backed up with 27 other states. I mean, you're going to see some states seceding. In the middle of that, then some of the people start fighting against the government. So all of a sudden we start seeing electrical grids going down because they got blown up. And some of those transformers in there are most of them are made overseas. And once you place the order, it takes 2 to 3 years for that transformer overseas to be made and shipped here in good times. But in a time of global war, forget it. And only 9 substations in America can be taken out, and all of America's electricity grid goes down. Only 9. So we've got now, according to Chris Reed, 6 million people that have come across our southern, probably or northern borders. And yeah, some of them are good people. Some are just looking for a job. But some of them are here to kill, steal, and destroy. We see evil running our country all over. All over. Our country is falling apart. On top of that is I think that God spoke to me saying in 5 dreams to lighten the load. So I've been selling some stuff. I've been lightening the load. I think that he's done that because I helped a bunch of people in Honduras. And God says, okay, if you're going to help a bunch of people, I'm going to help you. And so what I'm trying to say is, I hope you're listening to me. I hope you are getting yourself prepared for these things. I hope you really are. Look, if you got an IRA or 401k, if I may speak frankly, I'm not a financial expert. I can't give financial advice. But in my opinion, if it were me, if I don't have 401k, I don't have an IRA, but if I had one, I would look and see if it's in paper. If it's in paper, then I would be about calling 800-200-GOLD, prophecyclubgold.com, and I would be about talking to them and saying, okay, what do I do to get this thing out of paper and into tangible gold or silver? Or maybe all silver. I would be doing that. I would be going to josephkitchen.com. That's what I had for breakfast this morning. Joseph Kitchen whole wheat bread. That's what fed the world for 7 years. That's God's famine for food. I would do it. I mean, I believe God led me to start Joseph Kitchen as a means for his prophecy people, those people that listen to him, to be able to eat in the times ahead. Look, I mean, so look at those things. Look. That's what I believe. I'm not counting on some movement of the sun, moon, and the stars. Yes, there's a time they're going to speak. That's about the last week. That's when they start speaking. I don't know, maybe I should make a whole program on that. But I mean, here. All right, I can jump into, I'll just show you a little bit here. Okay, so let me just show you something. When do the sun, moon, or the stars actually start speaking? I think that they start speaking here around the barley harvest, which is, according to this chart, that's around here. That's about 7 months before Jesus returns. We're not 7 months away from Jesus returning, so I don't think the sun, moon, and the stars are speaking right now. I think they start speaking up about 7 months before, and you can also see it in this chart. So around the barley harvest, the wheat harvest, that's when the 7 trumpets start playing. I think the first, second, and third trumpet is that I saw the hail, fire, mingled blood, a third of the trees are burnt, all green grass are burnt, then a meteor is cast into the sea, then wormwood, a third of the rivers and underground waters all turn bitter. Then a third of the sun is smitten, a third of the moon, the stars, and the night shone not for the night, and the day for the night likewise, if I can talk. So in here, which is about 6 or 7 months before Jesus returns, that's when the sun, moon, and the stars start talking. But they're really, really talking right here because the sun goes out. Isaiah 30, verse 26, right there. Sun goes out, totally out. And then over here, for the last 72 hours, it is totally out. It's black as sackcloth of hair. Everything starts going very, very cold. And that's the reason on the day Jesus returns, there is no sun. There is no moon. There is no stars. Those are all darkened. They're all gone. You look up into the sky, if you're here, and we won't be. If you look up in the sky, you see blackness. And then in the middle of that blackness, the stars, the heaven rolls back like a scroll. Jesus comes in. So the sun, moon, and the stars are not talking right now. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not that they're not talking. That's probably not right. They're not talking accurately enough for us to give it credibility, and that's my point. I quit following all the sun, moon, and the stars stuff 20 years ago because it seems like about once a year there's another, this is happening scare, and nothing ever happens. So based upon its lack of credibility, I don't give it a mind. I don't pay no attention to it. Okay, so what is going to happen? We're at the perfect storm. Dollar falls, civil war, food crisis, war with China and Taiwan. Those are four big immediate things that we know is coming. That's what we should be paying attention to, not this eclipse up here. Okay, I mean, I can't tell you how many eclipses I've been through. Okay, when I was in Honduras, and I was going around. Matter of fact, I remember specifically a man had no legs, and I don't mean from the knee down. It was like from the hip down. He had no legs. He's in a wheelchair. I think he probably had one or two teeth. Old man, and I was praying for him, and there was an eclipse, and I specifically, a matter of fact, I turned around and I said, "What is it? Why is it so dark? Here it is, like it's noon." And people saying, "Well, there's an eclipse going on right now." Okay, so what am I supposed to say? Okay, because there's an eclipse and I'm praying for some man that's in a wheelchair that doesn't have any legs, I'm supposed to see a miracle. Well, I didn't see a miracle. I'm only saying, just forget about it. The things on the page you're looking at, those are things you can count on. Those are thus saith the Lord. Those are the things we need to be paying attention to. These are the things. So if you have people, and you probably have, sending you stuff about the eclipse, about the sun and the moon and stars, send them this video. It's not credible. Again, for 40 years I've been studying Bible prophecy. I can't tell you one thing. I can't tell you one thing of all of the prophecies about eclipses or star formation. I cannot tell you one thing that came to pass. Not one. I stopped following all of that star business years ago. Now, there'll be a time when it does start speaking, but it's not speaking now. You watch. I'm gonna say, I will be shocked if anything happened exactly on April the 8th. Well, rest assured, if the sun comes up, people can say, the sun come up, it happened on April the 8th, there you go. Or if a bridge falls, or if somebody gets shot, or anything happens, oh, it happened on the eclipse. It's not credible. I'd understand if, okay, in the last 10 eclipses, 9 of them had something happen. Okay, that's pretty credible. It's not credible up to God's standards. What is it, Deuteronomy 18:21? If that thing with the prophet speaketh and that cometh not to pass, then the prophet, you shall ignore him because it is not the Lord speaking. I don't think I quoted that right, but it's Deuteronomy 18:21. Now, we still have Jonah. Okay, so Jonah is an example. Did God speak to Jonah? Sure he did. What did he tell him? Go to Jonah, or go to Nineveh. Tell him in 40 days I'm going to destroy the city. Did he say, if they don't pray, I'm going to destroy the city? No, he didn't. He said, go tell them I'm going to destroy the city. Jonah said, I know you, and you're long-suffering. You won't do it. I'm not going. Instead, I'm going fishing. And after the fish spit him out on the beach, he had a change of heart, decided he would go do as what he was told. And the king received the message. Okay, what about us today? Has America received the warning of Dimitri Duduman? No. I'm going to dare say that since 1984, not one president has heard that warning. And if they had, they would just ignore it. I'm going to say that there's probably not one senator, not one U.S. representative that has even heard the warning. And if they heard it, they wouldn't receive it. Nineveh, the king heard it, received it, sat in sackcloth and ashes, and called for a 3-day fast of all people and animals, no food, no water for 3 days. You think that happened in America? Not on your life. So, America's not receiving this warning. They don't want to hear what God says. They're not listening to God's prophets. They don't know. Matter of fact, that's the reason a lot of Christians, a lot of Christian ministries, a lot of the Christian sites out there, they won't touch prophecy. They certainly wouldn't touch about a dream or a vision. Why? Because they don't know how to discern when that prophecy, when that vision, when that dream is from God and when it's not. Okay. Now you see why I shouldn't probably talk from the heart. Let's talk about Joseph's Kitchen. I actually cooked this loaf of bread you're seeing here. Takes me about 10 minutes to put the ingredients together, put it into a bread machine, push a button, 2 hours, 20 minutes later, I get a loaf of bread out like that. Now, if you cut that loaf of bread that weighs about 3 pounds, the loaves you get in the store have most of the good stuff removed. The loaves you get in the store are about a pound. That's 3 pounds because it's got the good stuff still in it. Cut that into 14 slices, and if I eat a slice in the morning and the afternoon, I'm satisfied. So on that basis, one loaf can sustain, I didn't say it's everything we want, can sustain one person for a week. Based upon that, it'll get you excellent nutrition. It tastes good, long storage life, 10 minutes to combine the ingredients, 2 hours, 20 minutes to make it. Other wheat that you order arrives in paper bags, which means bugs, rice, humidity can get a hold of it and ruin it. But at Joseph's Kitchen, they send it out in 100 mil thick buckets. Gives you long shelf life. It's stackable. There's some nitrogen infuses that hopefully gives it much longer shelf life, kills bugs and things like that. Easily resealable, keep in a climate-controlled area. And they have it in stock. This is a picture, an actual picture of part of the warehouse. Here's another picture of these. Actually, each one of those boxes holds 2,500 pounds of wheat. And I think they've got 54 of those boxes, a bunch of them. So Joseph's Kitchen can ship it to you right now. You go to most of these places, they say out of stock. So here's what you want to do. Everybody needs to get a machine package. These are the things that you need to grind the wheat berries. Put them into a grinder. 30 seconds later, you have flour. You put that into the bread machine along with 6 other ingredients. Push a button. 2 hours, 20 minutes later, you have a nice hot loaf of whole wheat bread. Then you have to decide how much food you want. You want food 2 people 1 year, 4 people 1 year, 6 people 1 year. And if you want to make certain you have it when the electricity goes down, you can also get yourself a solar generator, all at josephskitchen.com. josephskitchen.com. So what is an EMP Shield device? It's a device you can put on your car and your house that in an EMP attack is supposed to stop the attack. And if you go to empshield.com and if you use the promo code prophecy, they give you a $50 discount. They also have videos up there, shows you how to install it on your car and your house and everything, and it's not difficult at all. I've got one of them right here. Red goes to red, black goes to black, green goes to the car, body of your car, and you just peel it off the back, stick it under there. Got another device that goes on your house. So not complicated. Take you about 10 minutes to put them in. So empshield.com, promo code is prophecy. If you want to get gold or silver, we're going to send you to 800-200-GOLD or prophecyclubgold.com.